Yeah, all of a sudden, we're looking at social media, and there is no post that, hey, the Eagles have officially signed Britton Covey, who just happened to be there at practice in uniform, ready to go. So there's not an official word from the Eagles on that, but it seems that is the answer to their punt return conundrum there. Gone are Trevor Keegan and Tristan McCullum. And they brought in Willie Lampkin, who was another interesting story, a rookie free agent by the Rams, had a knee injury, got put on the injured list, and then the Eagles end up picking him up. So let's take a look at the practice report today. And, of course, it's Football at 4 with Andrew DiCecco from the Inside the Birds podcast. Plenty of new material up right now over at InsideTheBirds.com and the Inside the Birds podcast as Andrew, fresh off the practice field at the NovaCare Complex, joins us here on a Football at 4 Thursday. What's going on, Andrew?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
All right, buddy. It's, 1 week from kickoff. This time next week, we'll be previewing the Eagles and the Cowboys and a couple new faces at practice today. Let's first get Marcus Epps, your thoughts on that signing. He goes to the practice squad. It's just hey, we want a little insurance, a little extra depth here because Tristan McCollum gets cut. And was Epps there today?
Yeah, he was there, at least from what I was able to see, and he's a veteran safety. He's going to give them some insurance, and when you have three safeties on the 53-man roster right now, having somebody who started 17 games for you in 2022 and was a pretty effective player, I think that's a savvy addition, so they kind of fortified the depth there. I thought that was a smart signing.
So he's in the house now. Also, picture surfacing of a punt returner, Britton Covey, at practice today. No official word or anything that I've seen yet, but
it's on the Eagles website.
Okay, so they have updated that because it was kind of like, hey, look who just showed up. So Britton Covey, because Nick Sirianni was pretty coy about the whole situation on Tuesday.
Yeah, but he intimated that we like our options and we have a plan. And a couple days later, we learned that a potential plan could be someone who they're very familiar with in Britton Covey, and 14.4 yards per return. That was his average in 2023. Effective player, was buried with the Rams in a deep receiving core, ends up back in Philadelphia. He's wearing number 85, by the way, and we'll have to wait and see. I would keep an eye on him as a potential week one elevation.
All right, Andrew, the final initial 53, let's say, because that's already been tweaked a little bit there. Then they brought a bunch of guys back to the practice squad. Was there anything from Tuesday that kind of stood out to you, or was this kind of how you saw it all going down?
More or less. I mean, I had E.J. Jenkins, full disclosure, on my 53 because of his blocking prowess. I thought his skill set was less redundant than that of Kylan Granson. I thought E.J., in theory, could have fulfilled that Johnny Wilson role as someone who can do the dirty work and free his teammates up to make plays that Nick Sirianni really values, like Zach Pascal, Olamide Zaccheaus, Johnny Wilson last season. But Kylan Granson sticks. He's had the better camp between the two. He's a better pass catcher, and he can give you some special teams value as well. Other than that, nothing too crazy. The practice squad maybe not bringing back Montrell Johnson Jr. They still don't have a running back right now. And Lance Dixon, the linebacker, was a player who I thought did some good things this summer, but he did suffer an injury in the preseason. Chance Campbell actually made the practice squad, and he was signed 2 days before the finale. So interesting there, but other than that, nothing too surprising. Anais Smith maybe, but he ends up on the Carolina Panthers practice squad.
Landon Dickerson, A.J. Brown, both practicing out there, a good sign, and the feeling is they'll both be on the field Thursday night?
That's the feeling that I get. They're trending in the right direction 2 days in a row. So, like I've been saying, really for the past 3 weeks, that there was no need to sound the alarm for A.J. Brown. Landon Dickerson was week to week, but the signs were sort of positive, trending in that direction that he would be available. But for A.J. Brown, I've always said that my impression was that the team was being conservative and trying to preserve him and get him ready for, week one preparation.
Let's go back to safety real quick, Andrew. Get your thoughts on Makuba, hamstring. I know it's a week away. Things could change, but is that something that you would be concerned about at this stage early in the year, with Drew Makuba?
No, not necessarily. I mean, the Eagles certainly aren't going to rush him back, and I think now between Cooper DeJean, Marcus Epps, Sidney Brown, there's enough players there, Andre Sam on the practice squad, that they have an answer, and I think it's just a matter of if, not when, Drew Makuba becomes the starter, they're going to likely open the season with Sidney Brown. But there's still a week to figure that out. But just Sidney Brown's taking the lion's share of first team reps all summer. So I think it behooves the Eagles to go with the player who's been in the mix for longer, and Makuba's flash, but he hasn't gotten a ton of practice reps. But obviously, in a matter of weeks, I expect that to change.
All right, Andrew, when we look at the Eagles, a lot of times you take a look at the top players on this team. I know you're a guy who knows the ins and outs of these teams. Willie Lampkin signed yesterday, and this one made a little bit of news. He's a guy who was on the waived injured list, and a lot of times it's kind of like, hey, you don't do anything there, but the Eagles go and snag this guy. Now, a lot of people talking very positively about him. He was out at practice today. Was this a guy that you had your eye on at the draft?
Yeah, I liked him. He's kind of built like a spark plug. 5'11", 279, has a wrestling background, played football at North Carolina. The Eagles had to really like him, obviously, because this is a player who sustained an injury to his knee and his ankle sprain against the Chargers in the preseason. I get the sense that, being buried on a very deep offensive line group, it allows him the ability to develop and grow under Jeff Stoutland, and the Eagles really prioritize player development more so than I could think of any team right now, and he's in the right place. He has some athleticism, some power, and he plays with good leverage, and I think that was a really savvy addition.
All right, let's real quick take a look at, you talk about player development, Darius Cooper. I know a lot of people probably never heard of him, a guy who played at Tarleton State. If there was a reason that he had to play, I don't know how much playing time. These are one of those great stories. He makes a team undrafted, and now it's go time, and you hope that you don't have to see him all that much. But what is it about his skill set that maybe stands out, that if he gets an opportunity, that he runs with it?
Yeah, that's a good question, Mike. And I really like his strength, his ability to create yards after the catch. He's tough to bring down, but he's really consistent. And what really stood out to me was when Nick Sirianni was talking about the roster decisions on Tuesday, he mentioned his ability to potentially do that dirty work and help in the blocking element, of course, special teams as well. I think he's going to help the team, and it just may look a little bit different than maybe in a traditional receiving role to start. But Johnny Wilson did a lot of things last season that didn't show up in the box score, and there's things that you can't quantify. Darius Cooper, I think, is going to be a contributor for this team because, one, he's smart, he's consistent, he's tough, and then when he does get the football, we've seen what he can do. He's absolutely an NFL player, belongs on the field, and I think right now he's going to have a long career.
All right, we're keeping our eye on the Eagles, getting ready 1 week from today. You'll hear the game right here on 97.3 ESPN. It's the Eagles and the Cowboys. Andrew DiCecco and the guys over at the Inside the Birds podcast have plenty of new stuff up all season long. Check it out. Check out the website and check out the podcast, InsideTheBirds.com. He's Andrew DiCecco here on Football at 4. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, there's Andrew over at the NovaCare Complex. Quick check-in from there, as obviously now he tweeted out some new numbers, by the way, and one of them is Darius Cooper. He's wearing number 80. John Mechie is now number 18. Jacorian Bennett will be number 41. Marcus Epps is number 39. Britton Covey is wearing number 85 on the field today. So there you go for all the people just tuning in. Britton Covey is back. Marcus Epps is back. It's Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN.